How to become a master storyteller. Let me tell you a story about that. Hey there, I'm Alex, and I'm on a mission to uncover the hidden superpowers we all have locked away inside us. And one of those superpowers, believe it or not, is storytelling. Now, as someone who has spent more hours than I'd like to admit binge-watching Netflix series and devouring books until the wee hours of the morning, I think I'm qualified to talk about the magic of a good story. So, buckle up, because we're about to dive into the world of storytelling and how it can literally change your life. You know, when I first started paying attention to the power of stories, I was blown away. I mean, have you ever noticed how a good story can make time fly by? Or how you remember that one anecdote your friend told you years ago, but you can't recall what you had for lunch yesterday? That's the secret sauce of storytelling at work. So, let's talk about why our brains are absolutely addicted to stories. It's not just about entertainment, folks. Our brains are actually wired for narrative. When we hear a story, our brains release dopamine. That's the feel-good chemical, and oxytocin, which is often called the trust hormone. It's like our brains are getting a little cocktail of happiness and connection every time we engage with a story. No wonder we can't stop watching just one more episode of our favorite show. But here's where it gets really interesting. Stories aren't just heard, they're experienced. Let me show you what I mean. If I tell you that 60% of new businesses fail within the first 3 years, you might think, oh, that's too bad, and then forget about it 5 minutes later. But if I tell you about my friend Sarah, who poured her life savings into her dream cafe, worked 80-hour days for months, only to have to close her doors and lay off her staff, well, you're probably feeling a twinge in your chest right now, aren't you? That's the power of story. It turns cold, hard facts into something we can feel and remember. Now, let's get into how you can use this storytelling superpower to get what you want in life. Because trust me, whether you're trying to land your dream job, pitch an idea to your boss, or even just get your kids to eat their vegetables, storytelling is your secret weapon. Here's a simple 3-step framework that'll make you a storytelling ninja in no time. First, you've got the hook. This is where you grab people's attention. Start with some tension. Something like, I almost lost everything last year, ... double quotes. Boom. People are listening now, right? Next, you've got the journey. This is where you share the struggle, the ups and downs. Maybe you say, I had to learn an entirely new skill in just 30 days to save my career. People love an underdog story, and they'll be rooting for you. Finally, there's the takeaway. This is where you wrap it all up with a lesson or insight. Something like, and here's how that experience changed how I approach every challenge now. See how that works? You're not just telling a story, you're giving people a reason to care and a lesson they can apply to their own lives. Let me give you a real-world example. Say you're trying to sell a new project management tool to your team. Don't just rattle off a list of features. Instead, tell them about Emma, stressed-out manager who was missing her kids' soccer games because her team was so disorganized. Then show how your tool helped Emma streamline her work, meet deadlines, and finally make it to those games. Suddenly, you're not selling software. You're offering a solution to a real problem people can relate to. But here's the thing. With great power comes great responsibility. Stories can be used to manipulate, too. We've all fallen for a clickbait headline or a too good to be true ad at some point. That's the dark side of storytelling, and it's something we need to be aware of. The key to avoiding this trap is authenticity. Don't invent drama just for the sake of it. Instead, dig deep and find the truth in your own experiences. Share your failures. Talk about the time you completely bombed a presentation, or when you doubted yourself so much you almost quit. It might feel scary to be that vulnerable, but trust me, it's not weakness. It's what makes your story human. And humans connect with other humans, not with perfect, polished robots. Now I know what you're thinking. Alex, this all sounds great, but I'm not a writer or a public speaker. How am I supposed to become a master storyteller? Well, I've got good news for you. Storytelling is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And I've got a challenge for you to start flexing that storytelling muscle right now. Here's your mission, should you choose to accept it. Tell one story today. It doesn't have to be long or complicated. It could be in a meeting at work, in a social media post, or even just in a text to a friend. Use the hook, journey, and takeaway framework we talked about. Then, watch how people lean in, listen closer, and remember what you said. Remember, stories are the currency of connection in our world. In an age where everyone's shouting facts and figures, be the person who speaks to the heart. You've got this power within you. It's time to let it out. You know, when I first started practicing storytelling, I felt awkward and self-conscious. I thought, who am I to think my stories matter? But then I remembered a story that changed my life. It was a simple anecdote a mentor told me about how he overcame his fear of public speaking. That story gave me the courage to push through my own fears and start this channel. And now, here I am, sharing stories with all of you. That's the thing about stories. They have this incredible ripple effect. The story you tell today might be the exact thing someone needs to hear to change their life tomorrow. So don't hold back. Your story matters. Tell it boldly. If this video resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And hey, why not share it with someone who needs a little storytelling inspiration? Oh, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's a story that changed your life? Let's inspire each other and create a community of master storytellers. Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember, every time you tell a story, you're not just sharing an experience, you're shaping the world around you. So go out there and tell your story. Who knows? You might just change someone's life. Till next time, keep those stories flowing.